Good morning, metalheads of the internet, and welcome to a potentially very controversial and spicy episode of the Metal Meltdown. Before we go any further, since we're pretty much officially in the holiday season, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Holidays, Happy whatever it is you're celebrating this time of the year. If you're not celebrating anything, I hope you're just having a fantastic day all together. The link is not active yet, but I feel like this is a solid time to remind y'all that the Metal Meltdown will be hosting its official Christmas and holiday live streaming party on December 26th. Just got to confirm a few things, but yeah, keep your calendar open. And another solid reminder that every single dollar that the Metal Meltdown makes this month will be donated to the Fort York Food Bank. So if you like this video, share it with all your friends. Subscribe to the Metal Meltdown if you have not already. Check out a bunch of other videos because, yeah, let's make this time of the year great for everybody and stuff, even for people who will very likely disagree with this video. I'm sure there will be many who disagree with what I'm about to say in this video, because that's, you know, just how the internet works, especially when it comes to these big name figures like Ozzy Osbourne. And, yeah, I'm just gonna say it. It's time for Ozzy Osbourne to retire. It's time. It's really, truly 110% time. We've talked about Ozzy Osbourne a lot here on the Metal Meltdown. We reviewed Patient Number 9 just a couple of months ago. It's one of the most popular videos on the channel at this moment. I've also reviewed every other Ozzy Osbourne album and every Black Sabbath album. In other videos from the past, I've talked about Ozzy many a times. You know, guy's an icon, an idol, a pioneer of hard rock and heavy metal. I love him. You know, the first big metal concert I ever went to was Ozzy Osbourne and Rob Zombie at the Air Canada Centre. You know, I remember watching the Osbournes with my dad. We used to torrent old episodes of it. I remember watching, like, Ozzy and Jack's Detour with him during, like, those first few weeks and months of COVID-19, of the pandemic, of lockdown here in Ontario. I've bought tons of Ozzy records over the years. Like, I remember buying Scream on CD when it came out. I remember walking to Best Buy after school to get it. I've even dressed up as Ozzy Osbourne on a few occasions, so I don't want to hear that I'm a loser and a hater. I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't understand Ozzy or what rock and roll is all about. That's not fucking true. Everything I'm about to say comes from a place of real sincerity and love and respect for Ozzy Osbourne. The man needs to retire. This is a viewpoint I've kind of had for a bit now. It's not a secret. I've even done videos about, you know, when rock stars and musicians and artists should consider retiring, you know, trading in their guitar straps and gold records for, I don't know, cocktails and sandals on a beach somewhere. But Ozzy, more than anyone else, really needs to retire. The dude has been in really bad shape, realistically, for most of his life. He has struggled with drug and alcohol abuse, the consequences of being one of rock and roll's most mischievous, controversial, and debaucherous figures. He had an ATV accident back in 2003, and he's had a bunch of surgeries over the years to kind of, like, put his whole body back together. There was one in 2019 that really fucked him up. He had one, actually, earlier this year that's also fucked him up. He's had the flu, he's had COVID-19, he was also diagnosed with Parkinson's a couple years back. He's 74 years old. He's just not in great shape. And it seems as though even Ozzy Osbourne himself is finally aware of this. This is an article from Metal Injection. I'm not sure if Metal Injection were the ones who originally posted this story. A headline here saying, Ozzy Osbourne unsure about touring in 2023. Quote, I just can't fucking walk much now. Here's an excerpt from an interview that Sharon Osbourne did back in 2019 after an accident that Ozzy had in his home, and also after having gotten really sick. Ozzy is, oh Lord, I don't know where to begin, and I have to make this quick. He, at the beginning of the year, had a bad flu that went to bronchitis, that went to pneumonia, and then when he had the flu, he came out of the hospital, and he had a bad accident at home, and he fell in the middle of the night. And years ago, previously, he had a motorbike accident where he was in a coma for days, and what he'd done was he re-injured his back and neck and shoulders. All of the metal rods and everything that were put in his body were dislodged, so he had to cancel his year events, but he's good, he's fine, he's great. Osbourne has since successfully undergone a surgery that would determine the rest of his life and even returned to the stage briefly for the halftime show of an NFL game between the Los Angeles Rams and the Buffalo Bills on September 8th. This was just before Patient Number 9 came out. Despite that return, Osbourne said in an interview with Yahoo Entertainment that his 2023 touring plans are in question due to his inability to move around much post-surgery. It's so fucking tough because, I mean, I want to be out there, he said. I want to be doing it. This fucking surgery this guy did, fucking hell, you have no idea. The thing is in my head is alright. My creativity is okay, my singing okay, but I just can't fucking walk much right now. He later elaborated on the nature of the surgery from earlier this year, saying, the surgeon told me if I didn't have the surgery, there would be a good chance I'd be paralyzed from the neck down. Osbourne also lamented his overall health in recent years. I can't begin to tell you how fucking frustrating life has become. It's amazing how you go along in life, and one stupid thing can screw everything up for a long time. I've never been ill this long in my life. And this is all clearly having an impact on how he performs. Like, here's this video from the aforementioned NFL game. You can see him being risen into the stadium via some kind of platform. I'm not going to play the audio because I don't want to get a copyright strike, but, like, you can just see, like, look at his face. He looks like a fucking zombie. He's lip-synced this whole thing. Like, he's not actually singing, which is probably for the best because his actual voice has degraded so fucking terribly. Dude's been using more auto-tune and more, like, studio magic than, like, T-Pain, Lil Wayne, and every, like, fucking pop singer or rapper put together. Like, my fucking god. And that's kind of a big problem for me. If your job is to sing and you can't sing, that's a problem in and of itself, you know? Like, if I get open heart surgery, I want to know that the guy doing the open heart surgery can actually do the open heart surgery. Plain and simple. If somebody has to pull out a fucking tooth or give me a cavity, I need to know that they know how to do that. I need to know that they're qualified to be a dentist. Even if it's something like regular, if someone's driving the bus, if someone is flipping a hamburger, I want to know that they know what they're doing, because then it's safer, then the bus won't crash. Then the burger won't be undercooked, and I won't fucking get food poisoning or some shit. But more importantly, he's just like, I mean, this platform is holding him up. That's clear as day to me. And he just looks like a zombie. He looks horrible. He looks so bad. And this is the most recent live performance he's done, but it's not the worst of all the ones he's done in recent memory. I'll give him credit on that. This is probably one of the better ones. The worst for me is this performance from the AMAs back in 2019 when he did Take What You Want with Post Malone and Travis Scott. This is really telling in my opinion because you have like these younger guys, Travis Scott, Post Malone, just easily outperforming Ozzy in every capacity. I mean, you know, they're active, they're jumping around, they're interacting with the crowd. Ozzy is sitting in the back, shrouded in, like, fog and mist. You can't see it too well because this is a crappy fan version. The official version, for some reason, isn't on YouTube anymore. Every once in a while, he waves his arm. Like, here he is right now. He's waving his arms around. He's standing up. He literally looks like a Disney animatronic. Like, put that dude in the Hall of Presidents right next to, like, Abraham Lincoln and Teddy Roosevelt. Like, he looks horrible. He looks so bad. And, like, obviously, Post Malone, Travis Scott using auto-tune, especially Travis Scott, but somehow they sound way more natural, and you get way more emotion out of their performances, while Ozzy just sits there in the back, like, almost like a kid waiting for his turn to play Xbox. Like, he's just sitting there while all this, like, dramatic, cool shit happens, while, you know, a fucking pop or rock show is happening. Like, what the hell? This is the Prince of Darkness. What the hell's going on here? I mean, I've seen him live a few times. Most recently, like 2017, he was on tour with Stone Sour. That much I remember. And like, I mean, Stone Sour easily wiped the floor with Ozzy. Like, it's not even close. Ozzy barely played for an hour. He seemed lethargic and forgetful. He was having a lot of trouble hitting notes. Especially, I mean, he sounded especially rough on, like, ballads and softer tunes like Mama, I'm Coming Home and Goodbye to Romance and that kind of stuff. It was bad. It was so bad. This guitarist, too, I think that's Andrew Watt, who would go on to produce a lot of stuff for Ozzy playing guitar. And, I mean, even he's just outperforming the fuck out of him right there. Like, I love the fireworks display. That's cool. Let's actually pull up this Yahoo Entertainment interview for a moment. Let's see what else... Let's see what else they're saying here. Watch below. Ozzy Osbourne struggling to walk following surgery. Well, I would if you would show the video. If you would show the video, Yahoo. Is it still loading? Like, is that going on? Or do you want to show me this, like, Best Buy ad? Jesus Christ, why are there so many fucking ads? I turn on the webcam and there's a bajillion ads all of a sudden. I went back onto YouTube hoping to find that video Yahoo was going on about, but instead I just found more sad interviews. Ozzy Osbourne is struggling. Ozzy Osbourne's sad interview, My Time Is Gonna Come. Dude, he looks decrepit in those two photos. He looks like the ghost of Steve Bannon. Like, what the hell is going on there? He looks like he is a strong gust of wind away from, like, being evaporated, like Thanos style, like snap of the fingers. Like, he looks bad. I'm showing you guys all this because I want to make it clear, like, this man really is in as bad of a shape as he says he is. I am not saying that Ozzy needs to retire because patient number 9 was mid. I am not saying that Ozzy needs to retire because I want all these fucking boomers and geezers out of my fucking sight, you know? I'm not trying to be an ageist. I'm not hating on Ozzy because I'm some stupid fucking millennial who doesn't know anything about rock or metal music. I'm saying all this because he needs to retire. He deserves to retire. He's in no condition to keep doing this. And whenever I say this, the response every time is, oh, you're just a hater. You're just a fanboy. You're just a poser. You're just an elitist. You're just a whatever the term of the week is. And it's so fucking sad. It's so fucking stupid. It makes it clear to me, Ozzy's not the only one who needs to accept the fact that he's old and can't do this anymore. Y'all need to accept it as well. Y'all are just as much a problem. Like, I don't care if you've never seen Ozzy before. I don't care if you've been jamming his music for 40 or 50 years. I don't care if you think all modern rock and pop music sucks and that's why we need guys like Ozzy to keep on kicking. It's irrelevant. It doesn't matter. Ozzy's health is far more important than your comfort. Period. End of story. I know the idea of a rock star dying on stage is romantic and sexy to some of y'all, but it isn't. It's not cool. It's not epic. It's sad. It's fucked up. You don't believe me? Ask the motherfuckers who were there when Dimebag was murdered on stage back in 2001. I bet they didn't think that was epic or romantic, and he was in good shape. That was just some crazy motherfucker doing crazy motherfucking shit. Maybe that's not the best comparison with that in mind. You know what is a great comparison, though? Let's talk about Scott Weiland. Former lead singer for Velvet Revolver, Stone Temple Pilots, solo artist as well. He died 2015 at the age of 48 years old. His last concert was here in Toronto. It was here. He died on the tour bus going to his next show, literally a few hours after that show. Weiland was found dead at age 48 on his tour bus on December 3rd, 2015 in Bloomington, Minnesota, while on tour with the Wildabouts. The band's scheduled gig that evening was in nearby Medina, Minnesota, had been canceled several days earlier. They were still planning to play the next night in Rochester, Minnesota. Police searched Weiland's bus and found and confirmed there were small amounts of cocaine in the bedroom where Weiland was discovered dead. Police also found prescription drugs, including Xanax, buprenorphine, Zyprasidone, Viagra, and sleeping pills on the tour bus. Apologies, I'm not a doctor. I don't know how to pronounce some of these fucking words. Look, the point is, Scott Weiland was fucked up. He was in really bad fucking shape, and he got to die on the road just, because that's epic and romantic and cool. That's what rock stars want, apparently. But, I don't know, man. You talk to motherfuckers who were at those final shows, especially the final one that was here in Toronto, and a lot of them are like, holy shit, what a fucking tragedy, None of them are looking back on that as if it was really cool and great and fun. It's also just kind of like, oh, well, he needs to keep working. What else is he going to do? I actually made a TikTok video about this. I'm going to fucking open up my TikTok, I guess. But I made a similar video on TikTok talking about Ozzy needing to retire. Just like a short form little video. I considered uploading it as a short, and then I decided to do this instead. And this one guy commented, you can see it there. Well, what's he supposed to do? Start working at McDonald's? What's he supposed to do? I won't play the full video. You can go to TikTok to see the full video. And yes, I actually recorded that on break at my actual full-time day job. I was downstairs doing invoices and shit, and then I got bored. So I did this. That's not important. The point is, some motherfucker literally came on oh, what's he supposed to do, smart guy? Go work at McDonald's? And I just no, of course not. Well, what's he gonna do once he retires? Once a musician, always a musician. Not really. Henry Rollins stopped playing music years ago. He does like a lot of voice acting shit. He was on Legend of Korra. He was in that He-Man cartoon on Netflix. He's done some smaller, kind of low budget action movies and horror movies, one of which was filmed here in Mississauga. I think it's on Netflix. I can't remember the name of it. I'll edit it in later if I remember. He has he's done like political podcasts and shit. Henry Rollins is done. He's retired. He's moved on to other fucking shit. I don't see why Ozzy can't do the same thing at the age of 74 years old. I don't see why he can't just do other stuff, move into other ventures. I don't know, maybe he could start a record label or some shit like that if he still wants to be involved with music. Maybe he could do more TV shows with his son. Like, he's got the Jack and Ozzy's World Detour thing where they just travel the states. Maybe they do a global thing like that. Maybe Ozzy does nothing. Maybe he just sits on a beach and chills the hell out. And what's wrong with that? Why does this man need to work until the day he dies? I understand that that's just something a lot of Americans accept as something you have to do, but it's not. Well, what you gonna do, start working at McDonald's? No, he can just fucking retire. You fucking idiot. You fucking ding-dong. You fucking dingus. Something worth noting, metal is the only genre where there are like still a lot of like big names and pioneers and icons still kicking. And I definitely think that's part of why metal fans are so defensive when I say that maybe it's time for Ozzy to retire. Like, you look at classic rock. If you're a young person and you're listening to a lot of classic rock, then this means you've already had to accept that you're never going to see Led Zeppelin and the Beatles and Jimi Hendrix live, period. Maybe you'll get to see Rolling Stones if you're willing to sell an arm and a leg, but that's it. Same thing if you love classic hip-hop. You have very likely already had to accept that you're not going to see Beastie Boys, you're not going to see Run DMC, you're not going to see Tupac. Done. End of story. That's just how it is. Country. You've very likely had to accept that you're not going to see Johnny Cash. That's just how it is. Metal is different. Granted, there are a lot of metal pioneers that have left us already. Dio, Lemmy Kilmister, Jeff Hanneman. But also, like, Rob Halford's still kicking. Bruce Dickinson's still kicking. Ozzy is still kicking. Fucking Danzig and Alice Cooper and, Metallica. And apparently Motley Crue is back now. Speaking of motherfuckers that should really consider retiring. Metalheads have never... They don't really yet have to confront the fact that, like, they're done, Metalheads are just so defensive of the past. This thing happened before, it paved the way for everything else, therefore it just has to be around forever. That's why Motley Crue reunited. That's why fucking Pantera reunited out of the fucking blue. All these bands just making money off of their legacies because a bunch of fanboys just won't let go of the past and won't accept that it's not the 80s anymore. It's not the 70s anymore. I mean, that's a theory of mine, at least. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure everyone has their own reasons for why they wouldn't want Ozzy to retire, and that's fine. Like, when you're a fan, you obviously, like, feel a certain way, and if you're really die-hard and gung-ho about it, then I guess there's nothing I can say to change your mind. I'm really just making this video just to say it plain and simply. To provide evidence, as well, that it's time. Ozzy Osbourne needs to retire. I don't care that you're a longtime fan. He's done, man. He's done. I'm not going to tell you that you're selfish or full of shit or you're a hater, you're a whatever. Like, if that helps you cope to say that to me, then go for it, I guess. But I'm not going to do that to you. I'm just going to tell you. I think Ozzy Osbourne needs to retire. And frankly, I think most of the other names that we've mentioned, I think they need to retire too. I think it's time. Ozzy Osbourne has reached the final moments of his life. I think he deserves to spend them as comfortably as possible and not, struggling, not living in fucking agony just because a bunch of motherfuckers don't want to accept that it's not 1975 anymore, that it's not 1985 anymore. I don't know, but what do I know? I'm a self-absorbed poser, hipster, leftist idiot who knows nothing about rock or metal, so what do I know? I'm a stupid... brain-dead millennial, blah, 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 insert whatever the term of the week is. I don't fucking care. I hope I'm not a minority on this, but if I am, then so be it. Wouldn't be the first time, wouldn't be the last. Thank you for putting up with me today for this setup. We've never really done anything like this before, so this was different. This was cool. Maybe we'll do it again. We'll see. And, oh, shit. Wow, I haven't... Whoa, fuck. Oh, man, that's great. That's a great way to close this out. Yeah. Yeah, that's great. That's a great way to close this out. Can I enlarge this too, then? I'm like learning how to do this, right? Okay, I can. I'm learning how to do this. This is good. This is good information. That means maybe we can do more videos like this in the future. Thank you for putting up with this different format. Thank you for just listening to me rant for a bit. I hope I didn't hurt your feelings too hard with my comments about Ozzy or whatever. Love you, Ozzy. If somehow Ozzy ever does find this, I don't know. I love you. I hope you retire. I hope you're safe and comfortable and healthy and stuff. I hope all of you are too, because it's that wonderful time of the year and all that. Cheers. Subscribe. Yeah, the subscribe button would be about here. Have a fantastic day. And please let Ozzy retire. Before it's too late. All right, bye.